It's called imposter syndrome. Here is what it is and how you can fix it. Now, the definition of imposter syndrome is the persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own efforts or skills. In other words, it's that exact feeling you have whenever you're about to do something for the first time or you're new to something and you just have that feeling inside you that you don't know if it's the right thing to do or if you're the right person to do it, and it's almost like something is holding you back. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what practical steps you can do in order to overcome the whole imposter syndrome. So look, overall, it comes down to two things. One is the lack of information, like the knowledge, and the second thing is experience. So if we're looking at the information and knowledge first, well, one thing that will definitely help is if you go ahead and invest into your education, whether that is reading a book or watching a video or a webinar, which we have an entire webinar down below in the description. However you want to educate yourself, you want to learn about that specific thing. So for example, this video is mainly about why you aren't signing your first client, right? Most of you guys struggle with the actual first call when you have to jump on a Zoom call and talk to the first client. You might kind of be worried about what to say, how to say it. You might be thinking that you don't know enough, and that's what's stopping you from actually booking the call and going ahead and taking that. And because you have that lack of knowledge, that's where your nerves creep in, right? Because in your head, you're thinking of 101 different scenarios and 101 different questions that the potential prospect might ask you. If you don't have the knowledge and you don't have the answers, well, you probably think that you're going to make yourself look like a fool, which then makes you a little bit nervous, which then aka is basically the whole imposter syndrome. So as I mentioned, if you just invest into your own education, maybe if it's just as simple as keep watching my YouTube videos, buy an online coaching program, or just learn from somebody directly, as long as you start to get that knowledge, then all of a sudden this will be a lot easier. Now, the second thing that will definitely help you massively is building your network. Because look, you're not the only one that's going through this. As a matter of fact, most people go through exactly how you're feeling. So if you have a network of loads of other agency owners who are currently building their agency and have gone through exactly what you're going through right now, you're able to talk to each other, they're able to give you pieces of advice, but then also, I think it's just the whole fact that you are surrounded by loads of other people, and some of them maybe are feeling exactly how you are right now, but a lot of them don't feel like this anymore. However, they know exactly what it felt like, and they're able to give you that piece of advice. And just essentially reassurance that, look, it's not that deep, you're gonna be okay. So for us, as a part of our coaching program, we have an entire private inner circle Discord with about 800 agency owners all around the world. Now, a lot of them are just starting out, but also quite a lot of them are making tons and tons of cash online. So we're talking some of them making 10, 15, 1,000 a month, but some of them are making $150,000 a month. And I can definitely tell you that most, I would probably go as far as saying 9 out of 10 people in that group have felt exactly how you're feeling right now, because everybody has to start somewhere, right? So again, if you're surrounded by loads of other like-minded people who have gone through the same thing, that will definitely help as well. Now, the third thing that I wanted to mention is practice. This one, for me personally, everybody's completely different, but for me personally, practice is the one thing that teaches me things the best way, but then also I'm able to just learn that skill a lot better and faster. So look, as daunting as it might seem for you, you just have to go for it. Sure, it might not be perfect, and sure, you might make a few mistakes here and there. However, after your first call, all of a sudden you're onto your 20th one, and it just feels like second nature. But it's just those first few that feel a little bit awkward. You might not know what to say, how to say it, how to answer it, etc. But if you just keep practicing and you keep taking actionable steps towards actually doing these calls, again, that will make it a lot easier. And whilst we're talking about practice as well, this can also tie into the previous point, which is again the community. So if you have a network of other guys who are doing the same thing as you, well, you can kind of pitch practice with each other, right? Again, for I think a lot of people, you don't even need to do this because it is pretty straightforward. But if you're watching this and for you it's one of those things that's stopping you from perhaps starting OFM or scaling and getting your first client, well, why don't you just find somebody else who feels exactly the same as you? I guarantee you there are people in our community, at least a couple of them, that will feel like this, where you're able to message each other, jump on a Zoom call and just pitch practice. And I get it, obviously it's nowhere near as the same as the real thing, but again, it's better than nothing and you get that experience. The next one is planning ahead. I think again, where a lot of people have kind of the whole imposter syndrome and that anxiety and those nerves happening is because they just don't know, right? It's kind of the whole unknown. Because look, okay, the call itself is pretty straightforward. You jump on a call, you explain who you are, what your agency is, you ask what the model is doing and what her issues are, and then you obviously try and sign them up, right? And let's just say they do sign up. I think that's where people also don't know what the hell happens next. So if you plan ahead and you completely understand the entire roadmap from jumping on a call to making a lot of cash online, well, all of a sudden, if you know the kind of the next steps, the onboarding, getting the chatters, the content management, manager and so on, all of a sudden, again, this will feel a lot better. And again, if you're watching this and you're completely starting out from zero, you have no network, you have no community, you have no online coaching program, and you're trying to figure it all out by yourself, well, yes, obviously this is going to be a lot more difficult for you. So that is exactly why tons and tons of people are going ahead and signing up to our online coaching program and getting started that way. Now, the next one is something that most people naturally make a massive problem for themselves, and you could just avoid it from just not doing it, which is setting unrealistic expectations. So especially when we're first starting out, one, we don't really know what to expect, right? How do you even set expectations if you've never done this before? Again, this is if you're in a network with over 700 people, 800 people, and you've got a mentor and a coaching program that can give you all the expectations that will make your life a lot easier. But especially, when you're just starting out, a lot of the time what will happen is you'll jump on a call, and just because you want to sign that client, you will just say anything that the client might want to hear, and therefore you set false expectations. So as an example, you're on a call with somebody, and let's just say they're making $10,000 a month, and the prospect says, well, do you think you're able to get me to $50,000 a month within the first month? And just because you want to sign that first client, you might just agree. And all of a sudden, well, you now set yourself this expectation, which is pretty fucking difficult, especially if you're not going to be doing any paid forms of marketing. I mean, at that point, it's very, very difficult. But you've set yourself this expectation, which now is going to make you even more nervous, probably not going to provide a great service. The client's going to leave, and all of a sudden, you've got a terrible first experience. So by just being upfront and honest, that will ensure that you don't set false expectations, which will make, again, this entire process a lot easier for you. And then last but not least, I mean, look, this is completely normal. Like I said, about 9 out of 10 people probably feel exactly how you do. Probably 10 out of 10. Whenever there's something new you have to try out in business and life, whatever it is, and your heart starts beating a little bit faster than normal, and it's new, you're nervous, etc., it's completely fine. It's normal. But that's exactly what you have to do. A lot of the time, the thing that we always delay, the thing that we always put away, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next month, that particular thing is most likely the thing that we always have to do in life, because there's always a bigger reward, there's always something that will progress us more in life after that certain thing that's a bit daunting or scary. So just accept that this is normal, just go ahead and do it, accept that feeling, and trust me, it's not going to be that bad. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like on this video as well, and I'll see you on the next one.